Welcome to Marketers Talking Marketing.
Today we're joined by Swire. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Jess. Thank you for having me on the show. My name is Swire. People also call me the promo guy. As the name probably hint away, I'm in the promotional product business. My whole thing is when people hear about the promotional product industry, they use the word swag, which stands for stuff we all get. This is an approach that I do not use, and I do not believe that your promotional product should give it to everyone. It should be ideal client that you are targeting on. And instead of a shotgun approach, you should roll out the VIP red carpet for people who matter to you the most as your ideal client. Love to dive in deeper in our conversation, Jess.
Yeah, I love that approach too. It reminds me of Datadog, which is, for those who aren't aware, it's a large tech company. And their whole thing for a long time was these Datadog t-shirts that were purple. And they used to, in the beginning, they gave a lot away. And then they stopped giving them away at trade shows, but they would give them to like their top customers, other dev advocates, and it became such a prized possession to have one that people were asking for them, and it was almost a thing that people sought out aggressively because they became so rare and so coveted with it.
Yeah.
So it can definitely go a lot. Can you tell us a little bit about how people can use promotional items beyond just giving them away at trade shows?
I think promotional product, if you want me to give you a definition, a promotional product is a silent ambassador of your brand, and it will actually speak volume about who you are and what you stand for. What do I mean by that? For example, we are getting a lot more requests from clients for sustainable items. You know, people like to be environmentally friendly. They don't want to create what they call is swag drop, where it goes to the landfill. So in order to do that, you know, to fill into your value, then you don't want to buy from me something that wrapped in 6 layers of plastic. Or maybe you wanted to stay away from plastic material. There are a lot of recycled material there. So the approach is, you know, how does your promotional product value your company? If you're innovative, if you're luxury, if you're creative, is your promotional product that you purchase are able to tell that story when the trade show is over 3 months later? When people see the item, would they remember what you have said? Can the promotional product actually help create a taste of the actual experience for your product and services?
And you mentioned using these for your most valuable ICP, your most valuable clients. What are some of the ways that people are getting their promotional products out and engaging those ICPs?
Yeah, I love that question. Let's assume that it's the same budget, right? Whatever the budget you have for promotional product. So we know that we don't want it to get X amount of pen that you can get, just throw out your logo out there, you know, shows, and we want to focus on your ICP. So the follow-up question that I will have, you know, we engage in a conversation is, tell me more about these people. Who are they? Is it gender specific? Are there a specific title? You know, and then where do you normally meet them? If you're able to answer me that question, so we want to find something that is relevant to these people. If you tell me that all my clients, I meet them at golf course, you know, so obviously we'll lean away with golf items. Or if you let me know that all our clients are, you know, stay-home moms, there's another item for them. So the more that we could focus and the more that you can actually personalize, people will love your item if it's relevant with your name on it. They'll like it even better if you have their name on it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
personalization is like the key to success. You know, there are different ways that we could decorate. You know, for example, if you are celebrating anniversary with a client, for example, or we all know when and where the major holidays are. You know, so don't wait for the holidays. And like the holiday is where people send the most gifts. What if you send it before Thanksgiving? You'll be like the first one that they receive the gift. And a lot of people just send gift as the gift of giving. It will actually be a good conversation if you're in business development like I do. So it kind of open up the conversation. Maybe you are pushing your services in the fourth quarter, or you have a summer product. So actually send the gift before you call them, so then you could actually engage a better conversation with your ICPs.
I like that. Love personalization. When it comes to personalizing products, can anything be personalized, or are there products you see people tend to focus on more?
The short answer is yes. There are a lot of items, and we can certainly touch on custom, really truly custom, one of a kind item. The goal is to really find out who are your ICPs, because we have access over 5,000 products. So and for a client, you don't need to see all 5,000 of them. So my goal is to ask relevant questions that understand what the client needs are, and filter it to a short list that, remember, is not what you want to buy, it's what people want to receive. So by you knowing who your ICPs are, you can actually answer that question, because the most popular question that I get asked every day is, what's the perfect promotional product? You can answer the question yourself.
Yeah. Now, and it sounds like it's okay then for people to send a product that maybe isn't as directly related to their business, as long as it's going to be compelling for the person receiving it.
It could be, you could actually frame it, funny to say it this way, when we talk about digital ads, when we talk about social media engagement, you could track it, right? So you can actually track have a call to action on the promo item. For example, we all like sweepstakes. This is when we give out our email address, our phone number, sometimes our home address, right? Just for something that is $10. So definitely, if you have the social media engagement, or a big newsletter subscriber, do some kind of sweepstakes. Instead of buy 500, let's say you only have $500, buy one thing that is $500 with your name on it, and have that as a sweepstake. Think about the call to action. Do you want to capture email, or do you want to book a call? Whatever that you might be, you'll be surprised, using your offline and online strategy, you can actually create more touch point with your clients.
Yeah. Now, do you see that people are mainly using promotional products to try and attract new business, or is it also influential when it comes to retaining and growing existing client accounts?
Yeah, this is always a fun conversation. A lot of clients purchase from us when they go to trade show, do an event, or maybe going on a sales call. So sometimes I'll throw in this question while we're talking. So once the customer order from you, what do you normally do to retain and hopefully get more repeat business and get more referral? A lot of time they pause because they haven't thought about that, or majority of their marketing budget are allocated through acquiring a prospect. But if you're able to do more repeat business, and if you do the right strategy and encourage more referral, I think in any business, we can all use more referrals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's always less expensive to sell into someone who's already buying from you than to try and sell yourself to someone who's completely new and has never used your product before.
Yeah. And if it is a B2B, you have a longer cycle, or maybe your product is, high ticket, right? So it takes a while to, even after they purchase, to get them on board. Think about doing a challenge, or maybe you do like a training. So if they're able to complete the training or do a certain task for, let's say, 30 days, right? So you can actually use this as an award, so maybe you talk about the purple t-shirt. Maybe you give them like an outrageous, shiny object that, they will actually win. People love to win. We don't want to just get, but if we work hard and we're able to receive an award, we show it off every day. Think about runners when they finish a marathon, right? They get a medal with them. They, some of them probably wear the medal to work the next day. You won't be able to use that personalized promo item for your end user. If the end user work for a bigger company, for example, using your product and services, with that product, they can actually be more visible. Now when people ask, where did you get that t-shirt, or get that nice gift, that person will actually become your mini ambassador. And with the cost for you to come up with that item, to talk about the feature and benefit for your company, actually refer you to different department, sometimes it happens, or just in general, talk about what they have learned with the product and services that you have. Think about that, instead of just acquiring new client. How do you actually train your current client to say something good about your company?
Oh, the first thing that comes to mind when you're speaking about that is the number of Salesforce admins that I've been on Zoom calls with, who have Salesforce stuff all around them and Salesforce jackets, because they did the Trailblazer certification. And as soon as they did, they got their jacket or their sweatshirt. And they typically do wear it everywhere. Like,
Mhm.
you know that they work with Salesforce because they're very proud of it, usually.
Yeah, make it fun, make it a game. So that goes back to why I don't like the word swag, right? So either you roll out the red carpet or you create some type of courses, training. So people actually have to do the call to action or the customer journey that you pre-create for them. And then at the end, you get this, item that you deserve, and people show it off, and they will tell their friends. And you do it right when people take a picture of your promotional product and share it on their social media profile. How much actually would you pay someone to have, user generated content like this for you? Sometimes you can't even pay money to do that. People do it on their own.
Especially when you see someone who's maybe speaking at a conference and they have your shirt on.
Yeah.
That's free advertising essentially with it. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of additional value that people don't always think about when they're thinking about getting promotional items for, typically like events and other kind of isolated activities.
Well, I'm not saying that, obviously I'm biased, right? I'm in the promotional product industry, but I'm not saying that promotional product is the only way to do it. It's just in marketing, we know that we have to create a different touch point. And certainly promotional product can be an additional touch point that is really tangible, that if you do it right, the results, it's limitless.
Yeah. So if I'm a marketer and I'm listening and I know that I really just buy stuff for trade shows, I don't use promotional products in, let's say, customer upsell, retention, all of that, where do I start with thinking about incorporating promotional products into my marketing strategy?
Are we talking specific about trade shows?
No, anything.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the first, I would say, find out who your ICP are. Without that, you're just doing swag. You're giving away to everybody, but not everyone is your customer. We all know that. No matter what industry that we're in, we know that there are certain client or dream client. Think about who your top 10s are. Tell and develop a profile of who these people are, so that kind of answer what items that you want to buy. And you want to create a call to action. Maybe your call to action is, book a meeting with me for a deep dive for my services, or I just wanted to, celebrate our anniversary, or you are trying to encourage the user generated content that we do. So that kind of help you decide what item to go for. And there's no right or wrong. And then the perfect way is to, let's say you sell a really high ticket item, or it takes a long cycle, multi-years development to do that. Can you find an item that can actually have people try a taste of the actual experience? That's why when we go to Costco, right, we have the tasting, sampling, and then you end up buying boxes of stuff coming out. Or when you do try a perfume, you get a little tasting. Can you create something like that resemble things that you could help solve, maybe a pain point or maybe a feature and benefit or your product and services? If you can answer that, that will be your perfect promo item.
Awesome. Do you have any examples of like unexpected or innovative promotional items that you've worked with clients on using?
It's the thought that really get into the strategy, right? So I have a client who is in the high ticket item industry. So they were attending a trade show. They know that their ideal client will buy that, but they're busy, also attending the trade show at Wealth. So they actually spend a lot of money. They bought a drone, and then they actually shipped the drone to the client, but then they took the remote out. And what the message was with the card is, we'd love to meet you at our booth, during the trade show. And when you come talk to us for that 20 minutes, we'll give you the remote either way. So they end up able to talk to the client, make the connection, and book for the meeting. So really, the idea is not the item itself, it's how you strategize it and what your call to action. And in return, then you will find out really the perfect promo item for that scenario.
I love that, because you're also kind of giving it to them early. So there's not going to be like a bait and switch. And if they don't come visit you, what are they going to do with a drone without the remote? That's such a clever idea. So
obviously it works because if they make the sale, it's a lot of money, right, for the company. So it doesn't matter. Let's use a pen, right? I seems like I'm dissing pens for a little bit. What if you are a book publisher? You have an author that is coming out with a book, or you manage a band, then you're sponsoring the band. Think about our favorite musicians when we go on a book signing or maybe concert, they sign our album, right, on T-shirt. Do you think you're going to keep that pen? What would you tell other people about the pen, even if I put my logo on it because I'm the sponsor? So that way, even for a inexpensive item like a pen, if you create the right scenario, you could still create a lot of buzz. I'm sure that it will be a lot of user-generated content, because if my favorite band signed the name on my T-shirt with this pen, I'm going to show it to everyone.
Yeah. Is there a rule of how much you should be comfortable spending based on the deal amount? Is it like a percentage or 10%?
I don't think there is a real number to it, but obviously if you're a more high ticket item, people expect certain things. That's why in the beginning I say, what kind of value do you stand for? Let's say if you say we are a luxury brand, then it has to be in line with your company image. If you're eco-friendly, you have to find eco-friendly item. So it really depending on what it is that you offer and what people perceive as your value. If I am a luxury brand, I can give something that people perceive at less than $1. You don't have to give, but then if you're gifting an item, it has to be in line with what you stand for.
Yeah, I got an Aston Martin pen once, and I tell you, it was the fanciest pen I ever had. It was metal, like I think it was aluminum. The whole thing was, and I looked at it, and I still have it like 10 years later because it was so amazing. So even a pen in that situation felt really high end because it wasn't your typical, plastic ballpoint pen.
Yeah, and that's why we should stay away from the swag. Instead of, let's say, there are 100,000 people into buying cars right now. The people who are actually interested in Aston Martin are a selected few. If you're able to identify who they are, where they hang out. So your pen, you don't have to get it 100,000. You can only do, let's say, 100 or even less. But only give it to people who you think can help your brand go, or is your right ICP.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned it being important to think about your CTA, what your call to action is for the items that you're getting. If you're a business and you're using it for holiday gifts, or you mentioned sending something in October instead of December around the holidays, do you need a CTA for those? Or are you okay just to send something and be like, thanks for being a customer? Or is that a missed opportunity?
I think you should always follow up a call, and you should always do a call to action. Even if a holiday gift, if you just send it and forget it, then it doesn't really serve the purpose. Even if you're not selling anything or there's nothing for renewal, you should still follow up a call, just to check in with the client. Think about our ordering experience now. I don't care if it's a big or small company. When is the last time your sales rep called you after you pay them money? Chances are not a lot. Like, would they check in to actually ask you about your feedback of, how you like their services? You can actually do it. This is no cost, just to check in on the customer. Thank you for your order. Just want to see if there are any suggestion, that you think we can do to improve our product and services, and then you don't want to talk more. You want to actually listen. If they mention things that you can do better, or really feedback that, maybe they have a little concern. If you could really address that with your own ability, do it right away. That's how you create more customer loyalty, because, there are big companies who have an entire department that listen to all your complaints. But do you think that they could do anything after your call? I don't think so. But if you're a company actually listens and actually make changes based on the customer feedback and suggestion, then you have a customer for life.
I'm guessing that you have a lot of firsthand experience in growing those customers for life with your line of work.
It's always interesting to learn with my client, right? What works for them, what needs to improve, and to create actually, we talk about a customer journey, right? So it seems like it stopped when they purchase, right? So the customer journey don't end when they purchase. They actually go long and long until the life cycle of the customer. What if the same customer just buy from you over and over and over again? Then you are spending less time, on your marketing dollar. You could allocate for something else. And then the more you work with them, the more they trust you. So by then, you don't really have to call them for your renewal. They actually come in because they believe in what you do.
Yeah. I feel like that's most salespeople's dream, is to be able to grow a small number of accounts really, really big.
There are always
When-
people that are really thrilled with what you do. We all have like a couple of customers, hopefully more, that like to talk more about what you do. Why don't you give them talking point or even a paragraph so they can actually maybe encourage them to go on social media? People love to do review on product and services, right? Even if no pay, they do that. Give them ideas that they could help you generate content, or to award maybe your power purchaser. They get this different tier of t-shirts or different tiers of gifts. People will go crazy even with the online gaming community with an icon. There is so much that they will do just to get that icon next to their screen name.
Oh, yeah. I feel like referral programs have been around for a little bit, but they're still underused by so many people.
Yeah, just, what I would do, I do that every time that I have finished a job. I'll actually check in with the client, make sure that they're happy with the product and services that we offer. Once I know they're happy, I'll actually ask them, do you happen to know a colleague or friend or friendly member that can be able to use our product? Would you mind to introduce them to us? So you actually have to ask for the referral a lot of time, because if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah. It surprises me how many people are scared to ask for that referral when the worst case is that they say they don't know anyone.
They don't know. Yeah. I mean, if you, like, the worst is a no. Like, so what else do you need? Go for the no. Like, if they say, I don't know anyone, or no, at this time, I don't know, I don't have any referral for you, and that's it. And then you keep trying.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always amazing how many people kind of skip over referrals, growing client accounts, and they just focus so much on bringing in new logos or new clients and growth on the new front, when there's this huge, huge profitable, sustainable, oftentimes area of growing existing accounts.
Yeah, think about this. If you have let's say we talk to a team who has real marketing dollar, they will actually pay an influencer a lot of money to do, some content to talk about their product. What if you could actually find people that are really happy with your product and services, set them up, make them look nice, and these will be actual client testimonial that you could use on video? How much more genuine, and people can tell if it's an influencer saying things or if it's an actual client. So think about that. That's another way that you can engage your actual paying client to become your mini influencer. I think those are a lot better than the paying ones.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any other advice that you would give to someone who's listening, who maybe isn't spending as much time on customer advocacy and growing those customer accounts, that's thinking about focusing more on it now that we're talking about it?
It's a unique question, and it always depends. Obviously, if you're a coffee shop, then you can still utilize that example. But the more people talk about you in a positive way, the better. And then the goal is to, how do you actually encourage those people? Obviously, you can use coupon, you can use your newsletter, or you can use promo item to create the supporter. It's the thought that counts, and remember, the customer's journey doesn't stop when people order. It goes way beyond that. So what are your steps that you can do to actually plan them to success? If all your client, if now it's 2 people that are really thrilled about what you do, what if you can grow to 5%? Or what if you go to 10%? How does that affect your company?
Yeah. Well, Swire, thank you so much for joining us today and for all of your insights and recommendations. If people want to connect with you, where do they go?
Well, thank you, Jess. They can look me up on LinkedIn. I love networking, so find me on LinkedIn. If you want to see some of the work that I do, just Google search my name as it says on the screen, Swire Ho, hashtag the Photo Guy. And if you'd like to learn more about promotional product, go to our website at garudapromo.com.
Awesome. And we will include all of those links in the show notes below. We'll see everyone on the next episode.